Welcome to the Fortunate Future. I'm your host, Limor Markman. Cryptocurrency is the hottest topic, and many of us would love to be involved and take advantage of the significant gains the early adopters have made. It's not too late to get into the wonderful world of cryptocurrency. Many of us want to know how to invest safely, understanding the risks, and hopefully enjoy the gains. We'll be discussing how to evaluate crypto opportunities for both individuals and merchants, looking at value and return. With me today are Steve Dryall, CEO of Nikola Tesla Unite Limited, and Dean Jessop, Chief Operating Officer.
So, gentlemen, if an individual or merchant or even a business person for that matter is considering looking at crypto as an opportunity, what should they consider?
For starters, they should consider evaluating against the three pillars of a viable cryptocurrency, which is a framework that we put together that helps anyone evaluate any type of cryptocurrency related project using a very easy method.
And what are the three pillars that are included in that?
So the three pillars, we have technology, community, and liquidity.
And can you give me a quick insight into what those three mean?
I certainly can. Technology is the technology itself that enables the cryptocurrency to exist. So typically that's software, but software runs on hardware. So it's the technology that makes it work. The community is basically represented by the people who support the cryptocurrency or who are involved with its existence. And then you have liquidity, which is basically the ability to trade the currency for something other than the currency.
Okay, so when somebody's entertaining an opportunity, they'll likely want to make sure that all three of those elements are present to ensure that it's in fact viable.
That's exactly it.
Now, you two gentlemen have created a cryptocurrency called Niko. So let's talk about how these three pillars stack up for Niko. Let's start with technology. What does the technology look like for Niko?
Right, so the technology on the Niko side of things, we basically made sure that wallet availability and access to the software is at the best it can be or better than anything out there. Which, our wallet software is available for desktop computers, handheld computers, all that kind of stuff, online, etc. And that's a big component that we want to make sure that everybody has access to the currency, to the network itself. So.
Perfect. And then from a liquidity standpoint, what does that look like for Niko?
Well, liquidity, everybody's been worrying about liquidity on an exchange. We always say an exchange is a great option, but the liquidity should be more on the merchant and the people that want to transact using it or barter it. The more people that you can accept it, the better the liquidity is, whether there is an exchange or not. That's why we're not calling it trading, we're calling it either bartering or service providing.
Right, because on the exchange you can of course barter from one coin to another, but ultimately if you want to use it you need to be able to spend it or barter it for products and services.
Correct. In cryptocurrency, that's what it was created for. Cryptocurrency is supposed to be used. It's supposed to move around. It's not supposed to be held. It's not supposed to do other things. You're bartering it for something, whether it's another coin, whether it's for fiat, whether it's for a product or a service, you're bartering it and using it anywhere in the world.
You see, that was the original success behind Bitcoin and other the early coins, where people or early supporters of Bitcoin use Bitcoin to do things with, to trade stuff, services, goods, stuff like that. So we're just following a similar path,
right,
in building that out.
And now that mainstream has got their hands on it, the typical investor mindset is now holding on to it near and dear, right?
Right.
Yeah, they're calling it an investment, which we actually don't agree with. It's a byproduct. Investing is a byproduct of cryptocurrency. It's not what cryptocurrency is or created for.
Interesting, interesting. So if we circle back to the third pillar, which then of course is community, what does the Niko community look like today?
The Niko community is like no other community out there. There's so many different benefits that we're able to basically link into, whether it be through the name brand recognition of Nikola Tesla himself, or the different ideologies that are supported by that whole concept, I guess you could say, our methods in terms of building out the community and our approach in terms of plugging into different hubs of activity, and then also facilitating an organic growth component. So we like to have it also take a life of its own in some ways too. So, we'll nurture it, but then let it do its own thing. And
what's interesting is that Niko Coin is a title sponsor in a race car. Why did you decide to go ahead and do that?
We actually title sponsored the race team.
Okay.
We did it because everybody loves racing. Whether you're a car addict or not, you understand that. Well, part of it is getting the word out. We're on television, we're worldwide. We sponsored an international racing car racing team. The other thing is, inside of the racing community is its own community. So now that we're the first cryptocurrency sponsored race team ever, other companies are coming to us and other race teams are coming to us because we are in their community, which then helps build the Niko community.
It's also an example of our trailblazing in terms of we try to do stuff first, or we're the only, in a lot of cases, and as Dean mentioned, we're the first ones to do a racing team. So anybody else to follow on that is basically doing what we've already done, and that's the first of many different initiatives that we're taking. So.
Well, that's awesome. Love that you're living on the cutting edge. Now, Dean, you were talking a little bit about liquidity, and I guess the motorsports world is an element of that. But talk to me a little bit about merchants and merchants' acceptance. Why should merchants be accepting cryptocurrency?
Well, most merchants are accepting credit cards. Most merchants are accepting debit cards. Most merchants accept cash. This is just another form of payment. You can keep it on your cell phone. You can walk into any store. You can, within under a minute, transfer the amount of value in cryptocurrency to them and walk away. The benefit to the merchant, or there's many benefits, but one of the benefits to the merchants is it's non-reversible.
Right.
Unlike credit cards. It is secure. It is safe. It is tamper-proof.
Creates a whole different environment.
Correct.
And so I know that with merchants, some of the challenge can be the pain points around integrating point of sale, and that could leave them with a bit of a bruise from previous experience. Is cryptocurrency the same type of integration, or how is it perhaps different?
Cryptocurrency integration is one of the simplest things that any merchant would ever come across. It takes about a minute and a half. They can decide when they want to do it. It doesn't cost them anything, and they can accept it. And the bigger thing, again, is if they're accepting credit cards or debit cards, there is a fee. It's usually a percentage per transaction, where crypto would be a micro fraction of that fee that is paid by the people that are buying or acquiring the service, not by the people that are accepting the payment.
As a payment method, the onboarding process is significantly easier regardless of what you're trying to accomplish and regardless of the nature of your business. So it's accessible to small shops, but it's accessible as well to large organizations.
Well, it sounds like it's quick and easy and very cost effective for them. What I've heard from some merchants and maybe small business owners is they're concerned about the volatility of the value when converting the cryptocurrency back to fiat. Are they thinking about it the wrong way, or is there another way to consider this?
You want me to take this one?
Well, I mean, like we say, if you think about it as another type of money, then that issue is not really the same, because there's volatility in any kind of currency, whether that be U.S. dollars, Canadian dollars, pounds, whatever. And from a merchant perspective, that's a different element. Like, it's a line item. It's a conversion thing. It doesn't. When you're using it as a currency to transact and buy things, it's the same thing. If you're in the United States and you're Canadian, when you go to buy something on your credit card, your bill shows up. It may show you what you paid or whatever, but there isn't this. You're not thinking, oh, wait a minute, if I buy something now, is the dollar going to be a different value an hour from now? Kind of.
Right.
It happens at the time that you actually buy it, at that instant, the conversion.
Right.
And the other thing is, because it is another form of payment, they can then turn around and barter it for something else from another store or another service. So now, like carrying around a piece of paper that is either blue, green, red, or brown, and you're going to barter it for that equivalent amount of value while we're sitting in Canada. That piece of paper gets valued every time, and it gets bartered.
Right.
So it's not the transaction aspect of what's it worth, it's the barter.
So it's around the mindset of, instead of trying to convert it back to another currency, it's maybe starting to utilize that currency. And in that vein, I've heard you say, well, cryptocurrency is just like cash.
It is. So, and again, if you have a $100 bill and you walk it around and it moves between 6 hands,
Yeah.
it still moved between 6 hands. You've bartered it between 6 hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you have 100 Nico and you're bartering it between 6 hands, you still have 100 Nico.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the value is of it, it's still 100 Nico.
Mm-hmm. Now, speaking of Nico, and you guys are the founders of this currency, Dean, what specifically are you most proud of in developing this currency?
I don't know if there's one thing.
All right, give me top 3 then.
I love that Nico is being accepted for a charitable donation here in Canada. That is huge, because now we get to help charities with cryptocurrency. That I find is huge.
Well, and on the flip side of it, kind of how you were talking about liquidity before, is it creates an opportunity for someone with crypto to now have a different opportunity in terms of how to use that.
Correct.
Which is very cool. All right, since I made you choose one, I'm going to make you choose one as well. What are you most proud of in the creation of Nico?
I would say the biggest thing that we've done is we've rolled out a cryptocurrency economy unlike anybody else has done it so far, where, you know, if you look at a lot of the other cryptocurrency activity, you know, ICO activity and, you know, blockchain projects and all this kind of stuff, and there's a lot of, you know, promises and not a lot of deliveries, but a lot of collecting of money to accomplish these empty promises. We took the opposite approach to that. We basically built the economy and didn't do all that stuff. We didn't do an ICO, you know, we took that entire process and flipped it around. And in doing that, I'm fairly certain we're going to show people, you know, this is the proper way that cryptocurrency should be done. And, you know, it's a unique approach that we've taken already. So
well, and I really want to acknowledge you guys, because not only have you stepped out and created a tremendous value add with Nico, but you're really raising the bar and the standard for how cryptocurrencies should be launched and integrated. And not only has it been how you've done it, but you've now set through the framework with the 3 pillars, so that anybody out there who is in fact considering you know, putting money or acquiring a crypto opportunity, they now have a framework by which to say, all right, is this a good use of my money or not?
that's it.
So a huge congratulations to you guys on that one. As we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to share for those individuals who are interested in crypto or interested in Nico? What would be your advice to them, and maybe some next steps?
Well, they can check out Niko.eco. It's easy.
That would be Niko.eco.
Yeah.
Niko.eco, I've got that.
And then they should definitely check out your other videos that lay down some of the fundamentals, and then you know, take a search for some of the 3 pillar stuff. It's showing up a little bit more in online materials and whatnot, and you know, that can give some more details in terms of how it works and how it can be applied.
Absolutely. And if someone is on the fence, Dean, what are your words of wisdom for them?
Honestly, if they're thinking about it, they need to get in. Whether it's minuscule amount of money or a good amount, it doesn't matter. They need to get in. This is only going forward. Whether it's Nico or not, cryptocurrency is here to stay.
And I've heard you say it's the way of the future. That's already well underway.
It is the future of money. Hop on board.
I love it. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your time and your insights. And again, if folks are interested, Niko.eco, Niko.eco. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
There you have it. Cryptocurrencies are here to stay and are expected to be the way of the future. So if you're thinking about it, jump on in, even if it's with a few dollars. Be sure to watch The Fortunate Future on TV and online. For more information, go to our website, thefortunatefuture.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to be notified when the new videos are posted. Until next time, your fortunate future awaits.